Hello, hello, good morning. Happy Monday, July 6th, 2026. I'm Manila Chan. Ted Rall is on the potty break. You are tuned into the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI Show for short, because we bring you way too much information. We do it live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, so please be sure to hit the like, follow, the share, and the subscribe button. And most importantly, drop a line or an emoji or something in the Rumble chat. Don't just lurk. We have to reach our new metric requirements per Rumble starting July 1st. So we're almost there. Producer Robbie says we have an ad. We're almost there. So we appreciate all of your help in inching towards that new unique chatter metric. Yep. And Robbie, go ahead. You want to put the ad up there and get that out of the way?
Yeah, I will go ahead and get knocked out right now. Just 1 second here, boys and girls. I'll cover myself up because conveniently enough, it's on the right, just like I am. You probably noticed is growing fast and it's not slowing down. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform, no pre-roll, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, and content you actually care about. That is the deal. Or you can click on that little subscribe button right there up under the chat. So
right under the chat.
Yeah, it's very convenient. Well, it's right up under the box where we are now. Also, if you want to see the Rumble Premium content for TMI, you can just become a channel member for $5 a month to have access to all that content. If you want to see everything though, then that's where the Rumble Premium stuff comes into play.
All the nudity and everything.
I mean, Clovis nude.
Yeah, Rumble will fry you if we ever did that, but it is a good idea.
Clovis is naked as the day when he was born.
Donald Duck never wears pants.
You can even see his tail.
That's true. He flashed some tail last week.
He did.
That's true. And before we jump into all the topics, I just wanted to put this up on the screen. Check that out. According to the PPP GDP, China has outpaced America now.
Wait, you have to explain what the fuck the PPP is, because I don't even know.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Can I make it bigger? Can I do? No, that makes us bigger. That's that's not right either. Okay, that's not right.
Manila, you have to explain what is the PPP before you start comparing.
I'm going to read it because I'm not going to explain it well. Okay. So this is from my favorite graphics. I don't know what they are. Some outlet. So nominal GDP measures global economic weight. PPP is the adjusted GDP, which better reflects output relative to local living standards. So if you look here, the top 5 in nominal, that's just straight like counting the dollars. The top I'll go to the top 10. Look at that. Top 10 in nominal GDP. America, China, Germany, Japan, the UK, India, France, Italy. Russia comes in at number 9 and Brazil at number 10. And our neighbors to the north, Canada, number 11, real close to Brazil. I did not think they were going to be less than Brazil. But anyway, the triple P GDP, which is adjusted for local prices and living standards, Ted, 1.3 billion Chinese people have a better standard of living than America.
In no way, shape, or form is that surprising.
So basically what it is, it's purchasing power parity. So what that means in English is how far does your dollar go? That's really what that means. So just your cost of living. How expensive does it cost to live in China versus the United States? And the answer is, if we were just to kind of make it simple, your dollar will buy more in China than it does in the United States.
Yeah, and that's what matters, right? It's like the ad that says, like, it doesn't matter how much you earn, it's how much you keep.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah, your yuan goes much further than your US dollar. Your yuan in China goes much further in China than your US dollar does your greenback here. That's what that's saying. By $12
I
trillion.
mean, that is astonishing when you consider the fact that China was in famine.
Yeah.
Shortly before I was born, right?
And I mean, they were still completely a third world country and impoverished when I was born. And for much of my childhood in the 80s.
When I was a kid, people still said, like, you know, your parents would tell you, eat your dinner. There's starving children in China. Now, parents in China tell their kids, eat your dinner. There's starving kids in West Virginia.
Well, ain't that the truth? But how crazy is that? And then in the triple P, Russia ranks as 1, 2, 3, 4, number 4.
Now, wait a minute. How is that possible, considering that the sanctions destroyed their economy completely and totally?
Completely obliterated.
Yep.
Yes, just like Iran's military completely obliterated. Yeah, I mean, the G7 has done a fantastic job in raising Russia's price parity. How about that? I thought that was pretty
These days it really pays. Honestly, these days it pays big to be defeated by the United States. Like defeated, like Iran. You know, I want to be defeated the way that Iran was defeated. I want to be defeated with a $300 billion check. I think that'd be amazing. Please defeat me. Let me go. Yeah.
Yeah. What song is that? See,
please release me. Let me go.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so I mean, Russia, the jump from Russia to India is quite big, but point still stands. They are the number 4 triple P economy in the world. And Ted, it was only the 90s. Ted and Robbie and I were small kids, but we remember the wall coming down in Berlin, right? And then the Russians being like, we're so poor, I cannot buy vodka. No vodka. And now, what? They're number 4 in the world. So, yeah, all the sanctions, all that stuff, Robbie, in our lifetime as kids. And obviously, you know, the Yukis kicking their ass.
Of course.
There you go.
I mean, the Yukis have been on the way to Moscow now for 5 years.
Well, it's a long way. It takes time. A lot of it, what people don't know is that they're taking Spirit Airlines. And
are they trying to get refunds for the
exactly
because of the closure and the big queues in Kiev?
Yeah.
So there you go. I thought that was interesting to share.
Big shout to all the new chatters. They're here on the TMI chat. Thank you. Seriously, y'all have no idea how much this helps.
Seriously.
I cannot express how much it helps. I can make content. I can make the shorts. I can make the clips. The one thing I cannot do, I cannot make people chat. And so seriously, thank y'all.
Yes, thank you so much, because that was the one metric we were worried about, because our watch hours are there. Rumble changed all of this stuff up and said, hey, starting July 1st, all the content creators have to meet all these new metrics. I think it's because when they came roaring into the platforming world, a lot of people qualified. I guess the bar might have been too low or something. And a lot of people were taking cuts of the pie, and the slices got thinner and thinner and thinner. And now they're trying to suss out some of the dead weight, I think. So we appreciate you guys being in there.
Well, it's that, and also Rumble bought 9 data centers. So I mean, they are actively growing, because kind of like how Parler discovered, if you don't own your own systems, you can get shut down and destroyed. Rumble doesn't want that to happen to them, and so by owning their own systems, I mean that's how they make sure that doesn't happen. Second, I mean, people with the higher numbers should get paid more than what they were. Like, Ted, on deprogram, we saw our numbers just rocked, but our monthly payments continue going down because there's so many people involved. So I understand from a business perspective why it is, but it's definitely punching down, especially over on gaming. Because if y'all look right now, there's like 400 people on Rumble watching gaming in its entirety. So for me,
wow.
So for Putin by gaming, I mean,
help Robbie out.
Yeah, it could be the death knell. We'll just see what happens. But I think TMI then deprogram will be fine with y'all's help and y'all's support. So thank y'all.
Please help out your favorite white nationalist right there. Your favorite Christian fundamentalist.
Christian nationalist. I mean, he is white.
Christian white. Well, white as an adjective. It's not a pejorative. I'm just saying it's an adjective.
White nationalist is a pejorative for sure.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I meant white, nationalist.
All right.
Not white nationalist. I meant he's white and he's a nationalist.
I can be a white nationalist. I'll be whatever you want. I mean, I honestly don't care. I mean, that's the whole reason Putin bot gaming exists as a handle, because people kept calling me, "Oh, you're just a Putin bot." Like, okay, sure. I'll take your insult and make it my own.
You should take this this graphic, Robbie, and all hail the glory of Mother Russia. That they're number 4. Like the Muscovites are living well. Let me tell you. I know people that live there and Americans that live there, and they are, sanctions or no sanctions, they have never been without. They say everything's clean and beautiful, and they're not getting raped in the metro at 2 a.m. They're enjoying the masterpieces of art that are
having been there. I don't know how long you would live if you tried to commit a heinous crime like that. And I don't even think the cops. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Russian people would like.
Yeah, they won't have it.
Yeah.
Well, did y'all see the story I sent y'all from the 4th of July of my hometown, Pensacola? Some thug just went in, downtown, just shot 6 people, killed one of them. So because we have a disordered and crazy society, and
that's not untrue. Yeah,
I mean that's a big part of the problem, honestly. But I'll go away now, so y'all can do the show.
Hell yeah! All right, with that, let's go. All right, so Ted, this I found this very interesting, and you should too. You're a fan of the vagine.
I am. It's true. It's one of my favorite places on earth.
You know, so for all the straight men and all the women out there, there's this new club, and I put it in quotes, air quotes, the Billionaires Vagina Club. What happens when women's healthcare becomes a luxury product? This is what inspired the thumbnail. So Silicon Valley has always had a thing for optimization. You guys know all this, right? Like Ted and Robbie, you guys know, like all the sleep maxing or like fun maxing or whatever. I don't know. All the maxing, whatever on TikTok.
Stupid maxing.
Like you have to max out whatever the hell it is you're doing, right? You max it out, like maxed out credit card, max it out. So is there a channel for like credit maxing?
Dumb maxing. Yeah.
So stupid. So Silicon Valley has this thing for optimization. That's where it originated, the whole maxing idea. Sleep optimization, nutrition optimization, longevity optimization, productivity optimization. Now it's optimizing something even more intimate. According to a fascinating profile in The New Yorker that I read this weekend, one of the most sought after physicians among tech billionaires and their spouses isn't a cardiologist or anti-aging guru. Her name is Dr. Sally Greenwald, a concierge gynecologist whose elite practice has earned the nickname Billionaires Vagina Club. Now, the name is cheeky, but the underlying issue is not. Greenwald's patients pay $10,000 to more than $30,000 a year for varying levels of medical attention, almost unimaginable in conventional American healthcare. Office visits last hours instead of minutes. Patients have direct access to the physician. Hormones are carefully monitored. Menopause is treated aggressively. Sleep, libido, cancer risk, bone health, mental health, exercise, nutrition, and sexual wellness are all viewed as interconnected pieces of this puzzle. And her philosophy is simple. Sexual health isn't a luxury. It's part of overall health. Actually, it is a luxury if you have to pay $10,000 to
say, it's clearly
have access to Dr. Greenwald. It ain't that cheap. So that's a surprisingly radical idea in modern medicine. For decades, women's health, particularly menopause, libido, vaginal pain, and sexual function, received relatively little research funding and often even less attention during routine medical appointments. Many women report being told their symptoms were simply part of aging or something they'll have to live with. But Greenwald built an entire practice around the notion that they shouldn't have to. And yes, the conversations can be startlingly candid. Greenwald discusses lubricants, vibrators, orgasms, or orgasm frequency, and what she calls patients' sex span. That's the goal of remaining sexually healthy throughout life. She encourages women to abandon Hollywood expectations of chandelier sex and instead embrace regular intimacy that fits into real life. One memorable piece of advice from her profile: keep travel size lube in your purse and apply it before dinner, because, as she bluntly tells parents, so if you're squeamish and don't want to hear about the lady parts, she literally tells her patients, it's hard to walk around with a wet vagina and not feel turned on. That's a quote. So I'm not just saying this.
I mean, never having owned a vagina, I can't speak to that. Is that true?
So it's I don't think I walk around with a wet hoo-ha. It's usually you don't want to, I feel like that's not, I don't know. You get turned on. Call me a normie.
If you were to lube up and then walk around, would you feel like
would
naturally actually turn you on, or would you just be
I don't think that's true. Because every woman out there has had, like her Aunt Flo comes to visit unexpectedly and you're like, oh, and that's warm and wet, and you're not like, oh, and then like, oh.
You're not like, oh, yay. Although, some ladies actually really love it at that time. But yeah.
Maybe some, but generally, if you're out, having dinner or something and you're sitting there and Aunt Flo comes to visit and you're like, oh, and as you waddle to the bathroom, hoping that it doesn't come through your pants or your skirt, you're not getting turned on because there's something warm and wet between your legs. Like so I don't know. I don't know what
I have to admit that doesn't make a lot of sense to me either.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what? She tells her patients this? And it's also backed by a growing body of research showing that sexual health influences sleep, cardiovascular health, stress, mood, relationship satisfaction, and overall quality of life. Okay, I can probably agree with that. That's pretty, no duh. Not every aspect of Greenwald's practice enjoys broad scientific consensus. Some hormone therapies, particularly for breast cancer survivors, remain controversial, with oncologists cautioning that evidence is still evolving. Greenwald herself acknowledges that some interventions rest on stronger evidence than others and spends considerable time discussing uncertainty with patients rather than presenting every treatment as settled science, which brings us to the article's whole point here. The most striking part of the story isn't that billionaires have a doctor who help improve their sex lives. It's that they can afford the kind of health care many women say they've wished they've had forever and ever and ever. Time, attention, a physician who listens, a doctor willing to discuss menopause without rushing to the next appointment, someone who treats sexual wellness as legitimate science instead of an awkward afterthought. Concierge medicine has become one of the fastest growing sectors in American healthcare, offering precisely those things for a price. Supporters argue these practices pioneer better, more preventive care that eventually benefits everyone. Critics, such as myself, see something more troubling: a healthcare system where the wealthiest patients receive personalized, evidence-based information, relationship-based medicine, while everyone else gets a 15-minute appointment and a reminder to schedule their next annual exam. The so-called Billionaires Vagina Club makes for an irresistible headline, obviously, but by the end of this New Yorker profile, it becomes clear that it's almost beside the point. The real question isn't why wealthy women are paying tens of thousands of dollars for this level of care. It's why so many women believe that's what it takes to finally be heard. That's not necessarily my view, about women being heard. What's more striking to me is that this level of care has to come from the private sector, and that it's almost like it's not owed, like medicine or the practitioners don't owe it to you as a patient. Like, let's say you're a Medicaid patient, right? That this kind of level of respect and care isn't owed to you too. Isn't that due to you? I mean, you start to question, Ted, why some of these people go into the healthcare industry. It's not so much health care because they're not really caring that much about you, um, because of our whole, healthcare financial infrastructure, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're meant to turn patients over as quickly as waitresses want to turn you over on a busy Friday night, right? Like they want to turn the table because that's how they make money. The more patients come through, that's why everyone gets rushed through. Um, the added layer of being a woman, and people not really listening to what you say, or then you go find another doctor. Number one, but number two, that's true. Being a woman, a lot of what we say gets shirked off as, we're fucking hysterical or whatever. But intuition, I'm living proof of that with the whole stage 0 breast cancer. Like there was some weird intuition in me that how it all came about, but it's having I'm lucky to have doctors that actually cared and listened, but and I'm far from a billionaire, but this is what it is in Silicon Valley. Concierge medicine, and it's all these the wives of these rich tech CEOs that have access to this level of care, and that should be that. I mean, I don't think it astonishes anyone. But it's sad. It's sad. It's sad to see. Uh, your thoughts, Ted? I'm going to read the viewer.
Yeah, I mean, look, concierge medicine is something that people in big cities have heard about. I'm not so sure it's common in small towns, but basically, in places like New York City, you hear about it, and you're kind of like, well, clearly, if you can afford it, it sounds great. It's basically medical care the way God intended. High quality, personalized,
Yeah.
attentive. I don't know if I would want hours long GYN
No.
appointment if I were a girl, but honestly, 30 minutes might be nice. So it's just like it sucks. Look, this is the nature of capitalism. Capitalism is always going to separate everyone into haves and have-nots. We are in haves or have-nots when it comes to education, transportation, all these essentials, and medical care is one of them. From birth to death in a capitalist society, the class you're born into will determine, how you are treated and whether you live or die. And this is just another example of it. It's foul. I don't understand why people put up with it, given the fact that the vast majority of people do not benefit under capitalism, right? The vast majority of them suffer for the hands of a few. But
do you think that's reflected in the earlier topic we're talking about with China being the number one in triple P GDP?
I mean, because China, yes, I mean, in part because even though China is a capitalist country, it has a lot of socialistic legacy stuff, including its healthcare and transportation, educational system. So for sure, if you can be spectacularly wealthy in China, and some people are, and they live a lot better than everyone else. Sure, but there's such a strong safety net by comparison to here in the United States, and what safety net there is being shredded every day. I mean, they're literally getting rid of Social Security in this country. So. And nobody cares. There hasn't been a single protest march since they announced that they were going to slash Social Security by 22%. Not two people have gotten together and marched down a street in Washington. None. Nothing has happened. We are in the land of the twee and the fey. We suck. And so basically, yeah, no, I mean, I could go on for hours and hours. We don't have that.
And yeah, maybe Bluth Funke, another vagine owner joining me here. She says, LOL, WTF, no. I think that's the, if you're moist down there, that you're automatically going to get turned on. So she says no. And then she says, as a vagina owner, this is unhinged. I think all of it, though, the healthcare, so I don't know. What is this Dr. Greenwald woman? Probably no relation to Glenn. So let's not
probably, Greenwald's a pretty common name. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's not have conspiracies about this. But look, Silicon Valley is weird. Okay. Like, let me, I've dabbled in that world. I know people in that world, they be weird. Just all kinds of weird, as evidenced by our favorite Silicon Valley weirdo, Mark Zuckerberg, right? Who's like going through, I don't know, adult puberty with, his new hair, and he's now like surfing and doing jujitsu or whatever the hell. And, he's like trying to get buff. I think he's health maxing or whatever he's doing. Silicon Valley is weird. And I think this is a new way. And again, they're NorCal, Ted. The NorCalis are different than the SoCalis. I know a bunch of wealthy Orange County, this is down in SoCal, the housewives down there, they're into something different, right? Like what they look like. And they're as evidenced by the show, The Real Housewives of Orange County. But then you have the tech wives who are doing this. Do you think this is just another weird thing? Or do you think this is something that will trickle down, like not as a fad, but as opening the door to, showing the country that this is something to pay attention to, that women need more time, women need more access, women need.
No, I don't think that I think that the idea that this is going to be, look, it's not like cars, right? Like, like luxury cars are the, stuff that shows up in luxury cars eventually turns up in cars for the rest of us, right? Like, they like side airbags first showed up in luxury cars. And then it's like now,
or even the folding mirrors on the side.
And now they're required, right? And now they're required, and everybody has to have them. I mean, I remember cup holders started out as a luxury item, and then
really,
and now they're everywhere. Every car has got them, right? So medical care is not like that. Medical care is like, I mean, it's outrageous if you think about it. You have to pay $10,000 to $30,000 just to maintain your pussy, and like, I mean, okay, so what? You're going to do $10,000 to $30,000 more to maintain your asshole, $10,000 to $30,000 more to maintain your lungs, $10,000 to $30,000 more for your eyes, your teeth, your ears, your blood work. I mean, pretty soon you're spending like $150,000 a year, and you haven't even covered the appendix. I mean, it's just like, it's absurd. But for the people who have this level of money, they're just going to get this level of treatment. And that's it. It's not going to trickle down to the rest of us.
Yeah,
it's not a standard. It's not like they're developing a tech thing because here's the thing about healthcare. Healthcare and cars are not the same thing. You can move to New York City or Washington or Boston and never drive. You don't have to have a car. Okay. But like, you have to have healthcare. Like, if something goes wrong, if you get breast cancer, it's not like, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go on vacay instead. Like, you will pay whatever it takes, and you will beg, steal, and borrow in order to take care of it, because you have to. It's existential. So the thing is about the healthcare thing, it's going to continue to become a for-profit, cynical for-profit center, a bifurcated healthcare system which it already is, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And one of our stories later in the show is about kind of related to that. But it's
tangentially.
No, I don't think it's going to. This isn't going to make anything better. This isn't going to be like, oh, now at your local urgent care, because they're going to start doing extra time on your vag. Like, it's not like that.
Yeah. So, well, ladies, hang on to your crotch. You're the only one that can take care of it. They're still not
So
going to take care
true.
of it.
So true. There was once a time, a long, long time ago, I remember this time, when concerts, ball games, and family vacations were middle class pleasures. Now they're luxury goods. Economists call it funflation, a rapid rise in the cost of entertainment. But beneath the buzzword is a much bigger story: the growing class divide between Americans who can absorb these crazy prices and those who can't. Let's look at the FIFA World Cup. One couple from Virginia spent 10 grand traveling to matches in Boston, Jersey, and Miami, more than twice what a similar trip cost them back in 2014 in Brazil. Uh, Bear in mind, in Brazil, okay, average resale tickets topped $1,000, with parking reaching $175 at some stadiums. Parking! It's NBA Finals tickets averaged about $4,100. Concert goers routinely face hundreds of dollars in ticket fees before buying dinner, parking, or a t-shirt. Many fans are now financing entertainment through buy now, pay later services just to attend a single show. Forget hundreds of dollars. I know a lot of people who spend $1,000 or $2,000 per person for not exciting tickets to go see, people like Taylor Swift or whatever. How did we get here? After the pandemic, Americans placed a higher value on experiences than on possessions. Artists leaned in harder on touring as streaming replaced album sales. Ticket sellers embraced dynamic pricing, premium packages, and scarcity tactics that reward rich people. The result: the best seats increasingly go not to the biggest fans, but to the highest bidders. For years, economists argued that economic growth would lift all boats. Instead, one of the clearest symbols of inequality is something as simple as who gets to enjoy a Saturday night. Rich people still go to concerts, championship games, and the World Cup. Everyone else has to check their credit limit. So let me give you a comparison. So in 1981, I went to a lot of concerts. I was a freshman in college and I was new to New York City. I went to concerts that ranged from local places like the Peppermint Lounge, where I saw Blondie, who were kind of like fading at that time. They were toward the end of their career. They were touring the Hunter album. I went to see them for $3 at the Peppermint Lounge with sawdust on the floor. You had to buy one beer, a Rolling Rock, for $1. That was like on the low end. There's some places that were lower. On the highest end, the most expensive ticket you could pay in 1981 for any ticket was a big stadium show. I went to see the Clash opening for The Who at what is today Citi Field, in what at the time was called Shea Stadium. That was $35. Now that was a lot of money in 1981. That felt like maybe like $120 now, right? It's like, so now that said, people now routinely pay over $1,000 for a ticket, right?
One ticket.
One ticket. Now, okay, first of all, nobody's wages increased tenfold, in the more in that time, right? I'm even adjusting for inflation. They just didn't. Quite the opposite. Wages have been stagnant. It is absolutely fucking insane. I will not go see a concert. I don't care if I don't care if the Beatles reunite with John Lennon and George Harrison. I ain't going to see the Beatles for $1,000 or $500.
Oh no.
Fuck that. It's just because I know how much this used to cost. Back then, by the way, they weren't poor. Blondie was making 10 to 12 to $20 million a year. So
what?
These bands were doing great. Okay, so there's no reason for this shit. People are paying these fees because they don't fucking know any better and they don't remember anything different. But it's insane. And it's like, I just, you guys do what you guys do.
Well, that's the class warfare now.
I won't.
That's the new class warfare, is to get the ultimate TikTok video, right? At a T Swift concert or whoever. I don't know what people listen to these days. I'm still listening to Joy Division and The Cure, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
well, the Cure's still tour, right? So
I know. During the pandemic, they put out a freaking GoFundMe. I don't know what happened to that. I know they were making millions and millions in the 80s, so I guess maybe they just squandered their money or something. But during the pandemic, they had like a GoFundMe, and they're still touring because yes, fans like me are grateful. I haven't seen them in a very long time, but I like you, Ted. I have a budget, and I'm willing to spend, maybe for an event like that, maybe if it was The Cure or
I'd be willing to
I
go.
guess
I'd be
Joy Div-
willing to go up to like about maybe 80.
Yeah, I was gonna say last time I went to a concert, I paid up to $73, and that was like
I would be a little
out in the
resentful.
nosebleeds in the like that's I can't justify spending anywhere near $1,000. Like when my son turned 5, it was fucking painful to take him to Disneyland in California, but as a Californian, that's a rite of passage, right? Like you go to Disneyland when you're a kid. Like that's just
Sure.
what you do. And holy shit, Ted, for a family of 3, just the tickets were over $500 just for at the time before, me, my husband, and my son, $500 in tickets, and we didn't even get the upgraded like, line cutting pass or whatever. This is just the tickets, not to mention the food, the drinks, renting a stroller, their car, a big kid stroller or whatever. Like everything added up, and the whole day I think ended up costing $1,000 for one fucking day at Disneyland.
That's
not
insane.
overnight.
And even so, that's
One
still
day.
that's still 3 people, and it's an all-day experience, and you get some food and shit, right?
Yeah. This is one fucking ticket for a concert.
That's not including a t-shirt or like anything.
A beer.
Yeah, nothing.
The $23 beer, I'm sure. Like just this is forget having a nacho when you're one nacho. Just no nachos, no beer. This really is, we really are becoming this society, and I'm not normally so like socialist harping.
It's the fucking Hunger Games, man. It's insane.
This is where the people that have can flaunt it on TikTok and Instagram, and the have-nots, we just have to wait till it's, whatever show it is streaming on Netflix for our $20 a month membership on Netflix, because that's what we can afford. But it's really sad. And I don't know if the musicians, they've got to be in on it, right? I mean, they know what the ticket prices are, right?
They're well aware, and
they're in on it.
They're in on it. Yeah, they could say like, we don't want to charge that much. We like our fans too much. I mean, they could.
I don't know what it's summer. So much for summer fun, Ted. So much for summer fun. All right. So after the Luigi Mangione case, and that's obviously tied to the vagine conversation we were having earlier. Oh, by the way, thank you to Sierra Juliet Mike donating some cash. Says, I got to give you $1 for this hilarious conversation about the vagine. The vagine is no joke.
There's nothing funny about the vagine.
The vagine is life-giving and life-altering. Somebody on, okay, I guess we have to dip into YouTube, Robbie says. Don't do Disney stuff. If you do it, you feed the beast. We change the world with our actions. See, I generally don't. It's because I'm a Californian, and Disneyland, the original Disneyland is a thing.
It is kind of like a requirement for Californians.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. And plus, we live out here now in the DC metro, and there's no cool, amusement parks for little kids, right? So when I took him home to visit my family for his 5th birthday, and then he didn't want to do Disneyland. I wanted to do Disneyland for him. He wanted to drive up PCH and see the coast and the bluffs and see the state capitol. That's what my dorky 5-year-old at that time wanted to do, Ted.
I think he was obviously right.
He was.
Well, traveling up to
I was
PCH
determined.
is awesome. So,
Oh, that's great. PCH is beautiful. Pacific Coast Highway, for those who don't know. Pacific Coast Highway. So, I think he'll be more interested in doing it. Now I know we've done it. All right, fine. It's over. Robbie says there's so much history here. Do Fredericksburg. We go to Manassas, but Williamsburg stuff. I know there's all this American history there. He's right now, he's little. He's still into he wants to see state capitals for some reason. That's his thing. He loves state capitals.
Really?
I have a nerd kid. Yeah, he loves state capitals for some reason. I don't know why. He's interested in the building architecture and the dome, and he's a different kind of kid. As much as I'd love for him to be an athlete, he's a mathlete.
Huh.
Asian mom's dream, mathlete. So there's that. But anyway, back to this story. So after the Luigi Mangione case thing going on, police are quietly now warning CEOs America's class may be turning dangerous. Class anger, sorry. The killing of Brian Thompson shocked the country. Now law enforcement agencies are asking a broader question.
Some people say shocked, other people say pleased.
I'm still not into the whole use of violence. It's just so he says, was it an isolated crime or a warning? According to documents obtained by The Intercept, the New Jersey Regional Operations and Intelligence Center, that's a mouthful, circulated a bulletin to corporate security professionals warning that growing economic frustration and widening wealth inequality could increase the risk of targeted attacks against wealthy executives. The memo specifically cites the alleged killing of Thompson by Luigi Mangione as a possible catalyst for copycat violence against corporate leaders. The bulletin argues that public frustration is increasingly directed toward CEOs, with some Americans blaming corporate executives for rising healthcare costs, housing affordability, stagnant wages, and broader economic inequality. Investigators also referenced online rhetoric calling for violence against business leaders, suggesting that isolated acts of extremism could inspire additional lone wolf attacks. The report has sparked controversy. Critics argue that fusion centers, those are government intelligence hubs created after the 9/11 attacks to share terrorism-related information, so they're fusion centers, should focus on identifying genuine
fusion
threats.
Cooking center, where it's inexplicably it's Burmese and Mexican. But
that could be delicious, Ted. Could be delicious. Similar profiles, flavor profiles there. It says they should focus on identifying genuine threats, not treating criticism of economic inequality as inherently suspicious. Former FBI agent Michael German, talking to The Intercept, says the language risks portraying public anger over wealth disparities as extremism rather than recognizing it as a legitimate political concern. At the same time, law enforcement has a difficult balancing act. The First Amendment to the Constitution protects even harsh criticism of corporations and the wealthy. It does not, though, protect threats, incitement, or acts of violence. Intelligence agencies routinely monitor public rhetoric when assessing whether lawful speech is evolving into credible security threats. The larger question extends well beyond one criminal case. It's whether growing economic frustration remains confined to political debate or whether a deeply polarized America, a small number of individuals, may increasingly decide to act on it. Look, I'm a big First Amendment, even if you want to call me the C word, I'm not bothered by it. I don't care. I don't whatever. I'm a big First Amendment person. You can say the most racist, most horrible thing to me. Don't care. I just don't care. You have the right to say it. It's fine. I don't have to agree with you, right? Or anything else. But the threats and then that can sometimes lead, not always, but can lead to physical acts of violence as Americans become a little more loopy out there, Ted, because they have no access to medicine and they have no access to psychiatric care. Like literally, there's no access to psychiatric care.
Nope. None.
So, can it trigger some people because they're falling down the rabbit hole on Twitter or wherever they're looking,
it doesn't
Reddit or
happen more. Manila,
I am too.
These CEOs, they have the ultimate. I mean, they have the key to their own prison cell. They have the ability to free themselves of the fear of being whacked by a Luigi. All they have to do is shape up and start making healthcare more affordable and quit being so fucking mean and greedy. And then, stop turning people down for essential care. And you know what? You won't be killed when you're walking down the streets of Manhattan. So you have that option. I mean, I love that that's not presented as an option. Like, oh, you could change your act, quit being a shitheel. This is kind of like telling, hey, SS officers in occupied Europe, be careful. There's a lot of people being radicalized in this resistance. So, this is the thing. These are people who, I mean, do they have it coming? Yeah, they have it coming. I mean, it's like they're bad people. I mean, they literally murder millions of people. So
Look,
yeah,
I'm with PW Walker here. Thank you for the donation, PW Walker. Walker says CEOs are basically just employees for the ownership class. If you want change, skip the middlemen, go after the investor class.
Well,
I mean,
sure, but also
the board.
CEOs make tens of millions of dollars a year too, right?
Well, that too. But who authorizes that? The ownership board class.
That's true, but I mean, the point is CEOs.
Who authorizes those?
That is kind of like he's PW Walker is right. I mean, that's the CEO ends up being the public face of the company. Nobody's looking for the corporate owners, who are often like 2 or 3 boards away. That's true. But I mean, I'll tell you, I don't actually think there's going to be a spate of healthcare CEO killings. I think this is just sort of like, hey, be careful.
Well, this was saying just any CEO.
Right. I'm shocked it doesn't happen all the time, but I don't think it's going to start suddenly for no reason.
Well, yeah, if you also consider the stuff that's going on with the continued evolution of these slow leak Epstein files stuff and like Bill Gates testifying 2 weeks ago, right, to his relationship with Epstein. I mean, he's still the CEO of Microsoft, isn't he? Or was
I don't think so.
I don't know. But he's still the face of Microsoft.
I think he's like on the board, but he stepped down as CEO.
Yeah, he's still one of the founders and he's still the face of Microsoft. And so people like him are going to be surrounded with security, like ramped up security measures, because all the plebes are just sick of their shit. Like you're running off to islands, doing God knows what, bringing home whatever, penis eating disease to your poor wife, who's also a billionaire, that she can go to that concierge service. She probably does go to Dr. Greenwald.
Fine,
She'll be fine. She'll be fine. She can afford Dr. Greenwald. But people are sick of hearing that shit, right? And that's the problem. So I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a believer in like violent acts like that, especially targeted to like one person. So I'm with Walker there.
Are you in favor of all of the Fortune 500 CEOs are all simultaneously whacked? That's okay.
No violence. But I'm saying, and if you want change, I'm with Walker in the sense that you have to somehow get the investor class, the board class in line. I don't know how you do that, but you do. And John D. Cockefeller, JDC, our in-house scientist there, thank you for the donation, says laws are a threat made by the dominant socioeconomic ethnic group in a given nation. It's just the promise of violence that's enacted, and the police are basically an accompanying army. Yeah, that's true. I'm more libertarian on on all that stuff. But all right, we got one more story.
Okay, I love this story. So, for nearly 50 years, everyone who rolled an ankle or pulled a muscle heard the same advice: rest, ice, compression, elevation, aka RICE. It became the gold standard for treating sprains, strains, and other soft tissue injuries. Now, sports medicine experts say not so much. So, inflammation, the thing that we've spent decades trying to eliminate, turns out to be a very important healing tool. When you injure your tendon, ligament, or muscle, your immune cells rush to that area, clearing out damaged tissue and releasing chemical signals that activate stem cells and begin rebuilding what's been injured. Research shows that aggressively suppressing the process with ice or anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen actually can slow down your healing in some cases. So the R in RICE is the biggest difference. Complete rest is now viewed as counterproductive. Studies show that your muscles begin losing strength within days of immobilization, while gentle, pain-free movement helps stimulate blood flow, reduce stiffness, and encourage tissues to heal properly. Many clinicians now recommend a hippy-dippy approach known as peace and love. The first phase, peace, stands for protect, elevate, avoid anti-inflammatories, compress, and educate. After the initial day or two, treatment transitions to love. Load the injured, I'm never going to remember any of this. Load the injured tissue gradually. Remain optimistic. What the fuck does that mean? Improve vascularization through light aerobic activity, and perform targeted exercise to rebuild strength and prevent re-injury. None of this means you should never use ice. Many physicians still recommend it for short-term pain relief. I would say also right after it first happens. And severe injuries should always be evaluated by a healthcare professional, but things are changing. So I'm very prone to these kinds of injuries, Manila. I get sprained ankles very, very easily.
Walk it off, pussy.
Yeah, quit pussying and be optimistic, Ted.
Optimistic. I don't know about it. What is that?
Off.
You're gonna think
optimize this. Anyway,
you're gonna think you're spraying away. You're gonna think your ankle spraying away.
Stupid. But anyway, the point is no. I mean, look, I agree that the total immobilization is a mistake. So look, if you sprain your ankle, happens to me all the time. I know I've tried everything, and so I can verify some of this. Basically, what you want to do is you want to initially ice it so that the swelling, you can control the swelling at that initial stage. That's the main point. Then that's it. Don't ice like tomorrow or the day after. Just ice initially. Wrap that fucker with an ace bandage, but then walk around. Don't go on, don't climb K2, but you walk around in your house. Certainly when you're watching TV, maybe keep your leg up, but don't go crazy. Don't try to be I don't want to move. Go to the bathroom, walk on it, whatever. I had a little minor surgical thing recently, and I'm back on the bike. I'm doing my thing. I feel better for it. I'm just saying, it's true that sort of like what they used to say, bed rest for, pregnant women. That was a mistake. No. That's totally out. Remember when people had pneumonia, they would wrap their chests with bandages. Turns out that was making it worse because then
tighten your chest.
Yeah, so the lungs couldn't breathe, and
oh my god, so they couldn't expand.
Yeah. So they used to do that. That was a standard thing when I was a little kid.
That was standard care in the 70s.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So, oh my god, weird.
So or ribs. If you broke your ribs, they would wrap your ribs. Now it's just you get your ribs, you break your ribs, you just deal, and just they will find themselves back and they will fix themselves. So they're always finding.
Well, after I had the C-section, so I have stairs in my house. I mean, a lot of people do.
Stairs are great because they're forced exercise just from being alive in your house.
So after the C-section, after the second baby, I don't remember them saying this to me with my first baby, but with this last baby, they're like, "Oh, set yourself a place to sleep downstairs for a few days. Don't be walking up and down the stairs." And Like, you can't walk up the stairs. Like, yeah, okay. To hell with that. I went to sleep in my bedroom with the new baby the day they let us come home, right? Like, I was, like, 2 nights in the hospital and came home. There's all this stuff. I mean, yeah, look, a C-section is a serious surgery, right? Like, there's, like, 2 or 3 sets of stitches that go on in there. There's multiple, like, different shapes of incision. Did you know that, Ted?
No, I did
There's,
not know that.
the first incision on your skin is that the scar that you can see goes straight across the lower abdomen. Inside, they cut like a horseshoe shape to make a flap, in order to get to the baby and pull out your whole, like, fucking uterus. But so there's, like, different shapes going on and different stitching. They're stitching in different patterns all over my abdomen. And they were, like, trying to tell me, don't walk, don't do this, don't do that. Look, after a day or so of bed rest in the hospital, I mean, got up and went to the bathroom, I don't know, hours after I woke up when I had to pee. No, I don't want your catheter and I don't want your bedpan. I think everything they told me, I don't know if they told other women that, I think is wrong, because the way I handled myself with my son was like, I put the pillow over my tummy to cough or sneeze so that way I don't bust stitches, but I got up and walked, and the blood flow, and I had beautiful scarring. You couldn't hardly tell that I had, like, a C-section.
Vitamin E is good for scarring.
I did, like, everything. I didn't do anything that they told me other than the pillow over my tummy, because I think it's, like, outdated. I don't think that's correct, much like this whatever they're saying here. But I don't know necessarily, given how hippy-dippy I even am, that you can think away optimistically, Ted. Think away your ankle sprain. I'm gonna think away my C-section incision, and it'll be fine. I don't think it works that way. But maybe what they mean is don't be all glum and like a shit ass sitting on your couch being, "Oh, my ankle sprained," or, "Oh, I broke my arm." Like, just don't be like that is probably what they mean, I think.
Right.
I hope. That'd be really fucking lame to be like, "I'm gonna positive think my broken finger away."
Yeah, like, be optimistic.
That's a bad way to put it. Anyway, so that does it for this Monday. We're class heavy today, talking about, like,
That's cool. It's in keeping with the mood of the nation is class heavy.
yeah, very, very class fighty today. And Ted, I'm super tired this weekend because I just got back from the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce wedding.
Of course.
Yeah. It was.
That must have been.
I mean, weren't you there? Those were all my halves. Where all the halves were.
Mm-hmm.
All my peeps.
I was training Adam Sandler on how to officiate the wedding.
That's what I thought I saw you, Ted. But I was at table 997.
I was pushing the broom.
Anyway, that does it for us this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Tuesday.
Q&A show coming up at noon for deprogram.
And Robbie says we're going to do, Robbie says we're going to do a raid to make someone's day.
Yeah, so basically we have to do 5 raids a month as part of the Rumble requirement. So I found a gaming channel with exactly nobody watching. So we're going to do 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to help close the metric and make this guy's day. So just sit tight, drop him a like. I have no idea who the hell this guy is.
Oh, maybe say hi in the chat for him, because he probably
say hi for this guy.
I mean, seriously. I mean, a small act of kindness like that really goes a long way, especially if you're streaming to an audience of 1. So just
agreed.
Think of this as like, the Starbucks drive-through where someone pays for the coffee for the person behind them, and it goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the same thing.
Never happened to me ever, but okay.
Never happened to me either. So I've done it, and it's not happened to me ever. I've never caught that.
I think it's a small town.
Line.
It happens here quite a bit. I think it's a small town thing. Or if you go to McDonald's and you go up there to pay for your meal, it's, oh, the person ahead of you has already paid.
Oh, that's nice. Well, we'll stick around and drop a poop emoji on this random gamer. Let's see what they're doing.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Let's do it.
Thanks, everybody. Adios.
Bye.